This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Shaun just walked in with his prep.
Yeah, my prep. I on the screen that I was looking at, I had all these all this information. So I printed it.
It's a
I
blank
grabbed the piece of
page.
paper and I walked. Oh, thank you, Sam.
He's walked in with a blank page. That says Shaun
I
Sport.
didn't print. Is that spelled
Can I be honest though? This is the most research I've ever seen you do.
Well, there's so much to get through. Let's go over to the Australian Grand Prix, which we saw Carlos Sainz win it.
But everybody's calling Signs.
Well, it might be Signs. Anyway.
I always thought it was Carlos Sainz, but everybody last night was saying Signs.
A lot of people were talking about the fact that Oscar Piastri had to pull over. He was in third position, our Australian. He's a Victorian as well. And that Lando Norris was able to overtake him and finish in third position.
So that was a teammate thing, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess
that
at
sucks,
the time...
though, doesn't it?
does suck, because the Australian Grand Prix, and he would be up there on the podium. We've seen
his
Daniel
home
Ricciardo
Grand Prix,
there, Mark Webber there on occasions, and that would just... The crowd would have gone ballistic.
I know.
But at the same point, if your teammate
if you're the two
going
seat,
faster than you and you're in fourth position, the teammate's going faster, he goes, well, get out the way because I can catch the Ferrari ahead.
God, you'd hate your teammate.
That was the idea.
That's
So
why
much.
they'll never be teammates, really, because you know what I mean? Because within
There's a
that
lot
team,
like that, Nath,
within that team, there is competition. You'll never gel as a proper team. There's no one out there that goes, I'm happy to be number two.
Number two. But they were basing it on the fact that Lando's car was going faster, and it was actually going faster than the two Ferraris that were sitting in
Well,
first and
if it was
second.
going faster, then wouldn't he have overtaken him anyway?
Well, that's
Why did
what
he
I
have
reckon.
to pull over?
And the other thing with that, Nat,
Correct,
it comes
Natalie.
down to driving, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Driving
it does.
skill.
That's right.
So if Lando's got the faster car, he should be able to get around Oscar Piastri, but then it gives Oscar a chance to defend his line and sharpen up his own skills. Hold his spot in third. But they were hoping that Lando would go from fourth, get around
and
Oscar,
maybe
and
get
then
to
finish
second.
second.
Yeah.
That was
But
the
he
idea
didn't,
there.
did he?
No, he didn't.
No.
So that robbed Oscar Piastri of finishing on the podium, and the
That
Australian fans
sucks.
going wild.
I
Daniel
know.
Ricciardo's back in 12th spot. He's getting around and just
in a
just a
bunkie.
Corolla against the rest of them at this point in time. But they're writing him off. They're absolutely just hammering him, saying his skills are really poor.
Well, what I've read is not only is he in a Corolla, but that Corolla's being towed. Is that true?
No question.
Are you all right,
Harry's
Harry?
just
Oh,
signed off.
Harry,
He
okay.
didn't agree with
Oh,
you.
no, Harry, we need a doctor.
I was laughing too much. It's good.
Okay.
What were you listening to?
Hey, can you play it for everybody?
Yeah, play it for all of us.
If you're watching the NBL finals, you would have saw just the highlights of what I
Bloody
saw.
hell.
And
Unbelievable.
So Jack McVeigh from the Tassie Jack Jumpers, he's nailed this three-pointer just inside the halfway court to win the game and put them up 2-1 in the series against Melbourne United.
Extraordinary.
Now, this guy tore the Wildcats to shreds when we played him in our finals campaign, semi-finals campaign. For him to nail the shot, it was amazing.
It was clutch. It was amazing. Yeah.
It was so far away. So Tasmania could actually win this NBL title. They're one game away from closing it out.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't
So,
it?
wait, is this the first or second year?
I know, this third year.
Third
year.
But
To do that,
But they made the grand final. Yeah.
But to do that, is that where all of our talent is?
Here it is, Nathan. It's on the telly now. Watch
Just
this.
watch
Watch
this.
this.
This is a
Watch
pass
this.
in. Just
Watch
where
this.
this is where
And
he's got the ball.
dribbling. It's over the half there, and he's going to put it up. There it goes. Look at that. Nailed it.
Boom.
I'd be
To
able
win.
to do that.
To win.
Yeah, you would.
1.2 seconds
Thanks,
still on the
Shaun.
clock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
Look at them go. Congratulations to that team. Have we ever seen...
They made the finals in their first year.
It comes down to the coaching.
Yeah,
'cause
Scott Roth has done an extraordinary job, and he learned his trade at the Wildcats.
He did.
In any sport, how rare is it to see a team so new dominate so quickly?
Oh, unbelievably rare. And getting back to having Scott Ross as the coach. Roth, sorry. He put a team together of...
Misfits?
Well, yeah, it was one of the... It's a movie waiting to happen,
Yeah, it
but
is.
it was more so he was basing his team on good people. So if
Yes.
he can get a whole lot
And
of
the
good people
Sandlot
together...
kids.
Yeah.
then they'll perform well and
Yeah.
work as a team, and
Yeah,
they certainly
nice.
have done that. WA won the Sheffield Shield
Yeah,
for the
they
third
did.
straight season.
They bloody nailed it.
So
There
they
they
won
are.
the Sheffield Shield for the
Shaun, are you just watching the TV and saying what you see? Because every time you
beating
talk
them to
about
the
something,
point.
it's on the TV.
I'm beating them by 10
You've
seconds.
come in with a blank bit of paper. Every so often you're looking up at the TV and that's becoming your story.
Love WA. The same in the Marsh Cup, which is the 50
Are you gonna
overs.
talk about
They've won 3 in a
GWS
row.
Giants now?
You're
We're
late,
about to get
We've
to
moved on to
okay.
local. We're moving on to
Jesus.
footy.
WA cricket is so healthy at the moment.
Oh.
So many good players were not
Dominant.
playing. I saw Cameron Bancroft getting a coffee on Saturday. By the
did
way,
ya?
him falling off his bike. He's got some really good marks. He really did take playing
Oh,
the
yeah, he
tumble.
really did. Yeah, and it was concussion, wasn't it? Was
Yeah,
the
it
main
was,
reason
but he had a
was
few
ruled out.
cuts on his face.
So
and
they
stuff
really
like
should
that.
tell you not only did they fall off his bike, but he also where he landed, which is on his face.
Yeah, on his face. He absolutely did.
And the people that, like, Cameron Gannon, right? He took
but came in
fiver.
bowling. He was
Took
bowling
fiver.
well.
Never heard of him.
No, there's a lot of guys who played
I haven't
yesterday
either.
and who would not normally be in the starting.
They're not your regular
11.
names that you hear. It's amazing. Well
So
done.
we've got depth there. And, of course, the West Coast Eagles going down to the GWS Giants yesterday by 11 goals, right? 11 goals, that's a pounding. But Adam Simpson, he was glass half full with the way they went about it. We'll come back to it.
Some stuff there that we're really chasing that we saw some improvement on last year, but we've still got a lot of work to do. We thought we defended better today, but we conceded 67 inside 50. So, and I was really proud of the last quarter. We really wanted to win that quarter, and we conceded the last two goals with 10 seconds to go, which was flattening.
Yeah.
Right, so
I hear what he's saying.
65, 67,
67, he said.
67 inside 50. This is a lot, which means the defence, or you lost the midfield battle.
Yeah, that's
clearly.
right. That's a mid. So what he's saying
Did you
is
defend that well?
the
Well, they
defenders,
missed a lot of goals. I
well, they
watched
didn't
the game.
kick 67 goals, so I guess they
watched
did
the
defend
game,
well.
and I was thinking they were lucky to escape with a 65-point victory. And I know there were some signs that were.
Yeah.
By the way,
It's
Harley Reid,
glimpses. It's tiny glimpses
he's
of
going to
like-
be a freak.
Yeah, he is.
Dead set's going to be a freak.
We just have
But
to hang on to him.
How long
They
do you
need to
go
put
with
him
that
on the
for?
paper.
How long do you go with? So they lost by 50 points last week. They lost by 65 points this week. Next week they're playing the Western Bulldogs away. How long do you go?
Sean,
That was
Sean, we're only
great.
2
after
games
winning
out of the
dead.
8.
You know what, Sean? It's going to be a long.
Actually, really
it's going to
great
be
point,
a
yeah.
long year for Simo. So can you just let him have
Leave
this?
him, leave him be.
Whatever he's done into the words he's created in his head to
Yeah.
get through this, just let him have it.
Okay, 65 points. Not bad effort.
That's good.
Harley Reid, what a star he's going to be.
Fingers crossed. Don't jinx it.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
The Big Mav, geez, you did some travelling over the weekend, buddy. How you going?
Yeah, geez, I'm exhausted, Shawnee. I need a rest.
Tell
Yeah.
everybody how the weekend started for you, Mav.
It started on Thursdays.
Okay.
Most good weekends tend to start. I was in Melbourne Thursday for the Danny Frawley tribute match at the MCG, which was great to represent the whole AFL community, but in particular, there was one representative from each club, a former player or current player, either spoke at the pre-match event or attended on the match on the ground pre-game with both St Kilda players and umpires and Collingwood players, just to pay tribute to the great Danny Frawley and what he did for the game, but also to raise awareness and funds for mental health initiatives. So it was great to be a part of, and quite a touching sort of ceremony pre-match. And
Great
then
job.
obviously had some work to do for both Nine and Fox in around that. And then, went to had the great opportunity to go to the F1 to practice, a couple of practice sessions on Friday. So that was very cool.
Yeah, Pav, with the F1s, I know if you watch Instagram and see some people that you know, it seems like there's a lot happening, right? And you've been to the F1s before. The car goes past you like,
Yes.
and that's it.
And then you wait for the next lap.
No, you get more for money, more bang for your buck on the causeway. They go a bit slower and you can see a bit more.
What's it like being there in the atmosphere? And I guess is it celebrity watching in a way?
Yeah, I was in two spots. So one of the groups that were involved with Pickstar sort of had a spot right on the final chicane before they got to the straight, which was perfect because the cars actually had to slow down. And you got to see all of them in action, and you could identify who was going past, which was great. So there's Perez, there's Verstappen, there's the Ferraris, there's so and so, there's Ricciardo, and then so that was a really good spot. And then I did PMY, another group that we are involved with. We had a spot into sort of the hobnob area, if you like,
Yep.
all the corporate areas and where all the celebrities are, into the sort of paddock club, and that was more like going to the races, if you like. It was more
Being in
about
the bird cage. Yeah.
being in the bird cage, and if you want to watch a horse race or you want to see a car speed down the main straight, you can. Otherwise, there's champagne and caviar. So I generally chose the champagne and caviar.
Of course you did. And
Well, you're
Pav,
not an idiot.
I want to know who of note was the thighs with the eyes mingling with?
Who was I mingling? Well, Pat Rafter and his wife we
Nice.
saw. It was nice to catch up with them and have a chat.
That's
Who
great.
else was around the place?
Yeah.
There's a lot of corporates in around government and also
You always like to have a couple of politicians in your back pocket, don't you?
Yeah, just in case. You never know when you might need them. James Bird was there. James Bird, former AFL player and coach. There was obviously lots of famous influences that I don't know too much about.
Can you name one?
No, I cannot.
I'm with you, Matt.
What about, is it those Australian influencers that went in and filmed one of the... the Shepmates that went in and filmed one of the races...
having a wee.
Yeah,
right?
in the
they are
toilets.
on a bit of strife for that one.
They were there for Paramount Plus. They will be blacklisted.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of money, those guys.
End. Yeah.
I think the only reason I got a gig was because it was the Friday and there's none of these big influencers were there. So
they were waiting for Sunday.
That's why I snuck in. There was all the has-been athletes.
An absolute legend. Now let's talk about the footy over the weekend. So let's kick off with Fremantle. The first quarter, obviously, dismal. Took about halfway during the second quarter, at least, to get any kind of traction. But I've been saying to people, it's still a big win because previously they would have won.
It's all about the points.
And Justin said after the match, any win in the competition, you get a win.
Yeah, you take
it's worth gold. So your thoughts?
Well, put it into context. It's the first time since 2015 when I was captain, not playing. I was captain. Fremantle first one. It was the first time they won 2 matches.
Back
in a
when
row
football meant something.
It meant something. It did.
Yeah, that's right. Back when men were men.
That's right. Exactly. Back when you could have your weight inside the budget. It not only had your height, it was your weight as well, Pav. That's a real time.
I've only said so, but it's a great start to the season. Back in that year, Freo ended up becoming minor premiers. Now, I'm not suggesting that's what this team can do, but you're right, Shawnee. Anytime you can start the season 2-0, and importantly, arrest momentum. So against Brisbane in the first round, Brisbane were leading by 25 points at one stage. Freo then stopped that and kicked 8 in a row. On the weekend, North led by 33 points at one stage in that second quarter, and then kicked 9 consecutive goals. So some good signs from Sarong and Brayshaw, and Luke Jackson was a star on the weekend. And really, everyone talks about it starts in the contest, it starts in the middle. It was that third quarter where they got to work, and they definitely delivered the goods. And if you are a Dockers fan, even if you're a footy fan, we're having a chat to Brandon Walker tonight at 6 on Channel 9. So tune into that because they take on the Crows this Good Friday, which it's a short turnaround for them.
For sure.
Well, we'll try and get him after 8 and scoop that story.
No, don't do that. You're doing like the thunder. Why you like this?
It's always good to, it's always good to take the eyes of the thighs down a peg.
Is there any positives to take out of West Coast yesterday? What do you reckon?
There is. Their stoppage game for most of the game was actually better, and the first and last quarters, they were very competitive. They just got absolutely blitzed in the second and third term. So they scored 2 points in the second quarter and 2 points in the third quarter. It was dismal watching for 2 quarters yesterday. And the thing that, you can see they're trying to play a different style of game.
Yes.
The West Coast for a long time have tried to chip the ball side to side, march the ball up, for want of a better term, to their forwards and then get it in there. But they're trying to play a bit faster. They're trying to play through opposition.
They're trying to kick it forward.
They're trying to kick it forward. That's right. But they just got blitzed on turnover. So the Giants kicked 11 goals from turnover yesterday. West Coast kicked 2. So, a lot to work through. And I think if you're a West Coast fan, there's some signs from their younger group. But the 2 teams playing yesterday were about the same age and about the same experience in terms of average out there playing. So it just shows the quality that the Giants have and the areas where the Eagles need to improve their list.
Pav, I walked past you when you were calling the game for Fox yesterday, standing up watching the game, and I was hearing you saying the same things over and over again, and I was thinking, if I was calling that game, you're making the same comment and how you get through. Like, you're there for hours, and you're trying to get a different
just
experience.
repeating yourself.
Yeah, you are.
Like my dad telling a story.
Yeah, that's what my kids say about me. It was a hard, because that second quarter was a real arm wrestle, Shawnee, and both teams were actually butchering the ball, and it was a pretty uninspiring second quarter of footy. So, there was a couple of times I was looking at Adam Papalea and Will Schofield next to me, thinking, geez, can we just get one nice piece of play so we can talk it up? But look, it can be hard work sometimes, and hopefully for our sake, but also for West Coast fans and Freo fans, the games that I cover here for Fox in Perth. Let's hope there's some better ones coming up.
Good on you, Pav.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Thanks, Pav.
Fremantle Dockers at home, as you said, to Adelaide on Friday, and then West Coast are in action against the Bulldogs away.
Yeah, they go on the road for 2 weeks now. So they go to Marvel Stadium for the Bulldogs, and then they stay there before taking on Sydney up in the Adelaide Hills, good wine country.
Oh, yeah, for
in Gatherround.
Nice
Of
work,
course.
Mav.
Beautiful.
We'll see you on 9 News tonight, buddy, with exclusive.
Check us out. Let's do it.
Nice work. Thank you.
Consider it done.
And,
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.